My name's Joy Parker. I have a PhD in English literature. I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at the age of 2, and my parents didn't really know where to look for help for me. There were some services available that they took advantage of, but a lot of things, because they were middle class, they didn't really qualify for certain services, so we really just tried to make it on our own. I had SSI for a while, but once I got a graduate stipend and then a full-time job, I didn't really need it, so I got off of SSI, and I was doing pretty well on my own until I started getting ill and I started having more problems with my mobility. And one of my friends was really concerned, and she said, maybe you should call the Lucas County Board of Disability and see if they can help you. And I had never heard of the board before, and I was skeptical, but I called and someone from the board got back to me. And by that time, I was in assisted living and then a nursing home. So I really did need a lot of help. So I was really glad that they were there and willing to help me to start living on my own again.
The work that we do at the board, a lot of our responsibility is, of course, to meet the health and safety and needs of the individuals that we serve. But we also have a big responsibility to educate our community and to advocate for inclusion and acceptance of the individuals that we serve out in our community. And our really amazing, dedicated staff are what makes that happen. No matter who they interact with, they are helping people understand that we are the board, we are here to serve people. People with disabilities are people too that have the same hopes, dreams, desires as any of the rest of us. But our staff, without their dedication and without their hearts for serving people, we wouldn't be able to make a difference. We wouldn't be able to achieve our mission and do what we've been entrusted within Lucas County to do, and that is to help people that we serve reach their full potential.
When I was young, I grew up with a young man who had autism and required a lot of support. It was great seeing the love and support he received from his family. But then as I grew up, kind of realizing that not everyone has that same love and support, I just knew I wanted to be a part of that for someone, and that kind of drew me into the field. 2019, Avery was born. Not long after that, she was diagnosed with 2 separate disabilities. At the time, I was working with young children and then having a young child at home. It was a difficult balance for a while, but once I kind of took a step back and realized the perspective I was able to offer parents, that I was in their shoes, actively going through a lot of the same things that they were going through. I think a lot of parents appreciated that I wasn't coming at them from just a caseworker perspective. I was coming at them as a parent, and I was able to offer a level of empathy that not a lot of other people could come at them with, and it allowed me to connect a little bit and be a little bit more vulnerable. And we were able to navigate some difficult conversations that maybe I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. I love having a child served here and working here. I like that I have an understanding of the system. I still think it offers me a unique perspective to parents that I meet in the community. I'm always willing to offer resources, and I'm thankful that I have the knowledge that I do to be able to offer that unique perspective to members of our community.
We have been embracing technology, not just for the individuals that we serve and how technology can better their lives or increase their independence, but also embracing it for ourselves as an organization and how we do our work, how we can be more effective and efficient in how we do our work. Technology is a big piece of that. I want us to be on the forefront of that so that we are learning and we can be part of helping to shape what that looks like, whether it's ends up just being stuff that we do within Lucas County or something that ends up being statewide. I want Lucas County to be known as a leader.
I am a first-time mom. Harrison is 20 months old, and I had a completely healthy, normal pregnancy, and then when I went to the hospital in labor, I started having some signs of preeclampsia. So we had a stat C-section, and unfortunately he was born not breathing, so he had to be resuscitated. And so because of that injury, was considered to have hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. So basically he was deprived of oxygen at birth, which can cause a brain injury. We've had a really good, projection since birth. Any of his providers are, thrilled with his development and how far he's come and what he's capable of. Yes. What I really like about early intervention is it being kind of an extension of some of the services we might be getting outpatient, but in a home setting, so that we can really see how to generalize his skills, how to already be looking ahead to the next milestone and doing it in your own setting, your own environment, because Harrison does not always do well going to new environments, because he sometimes has had to have appointments where he has felt, I don't want to say traumatized, but he's had a really hard time, and then that set us back to going into other environments in the future. So I really appreciate being able to have services that come to us and kind of meet us where he is. But yeah, I would say, thank you to Deb for helping us feel as parents like we could support Harrison and growing and reaching the milestones, even when he has been delayed, that we have solutions and ways to help support him from home.
What excites me about the future is I feel like there's unlimited possibilities, but just being able to continue to make a difference in people's lives, whatever that looks like at the time, because what that looked like almost 23 years ago when I started to 10 years ago to today is different, because our system keeps evolving and changing for the better. And so what the future looks like would just be a community that it's second nature to make sure that a new building is ADA compliant, or that anyone can use the playground and anyone can enter the building and anyone can participate in an activity, because we already have those things in mind. We create, we build with those things in mind.